may be the kindest description she's ever given me. Celeste is sunlight made human, golden hair, warm brown eyes that flash amber whenever her wolf rises close to the surface, curves, confidence, grace. Visiting alphas have forgotten their own names while looking at her. I'm the opposite. Dark hair that refuses every curl, gray eyes father once called dead because they look too human, a narrow frame, sharp angles, and none of the effortless movement that belongs to wolves. And then there is the worst part. I'm barren. That is the real crime in my family. Not my inability to shift. There are late bloomers, even if I've never heard of one blooming, as late as 23. The unforgivable thing was discovered when I was 16. The healers said there was damage inside me. My womb was scarred by something they couldn't properly name. I would never carry a child, never continue my father's bloodline, never give a powerful wolf an heir. In father's eyes, that meant I would never be useful. There. Mother steps away and studies me with the same look she gives spoiled food. It will have to do. Remember, you're only standing in for Celeste. The second she's well enough, we'll switch you back. Alpha Blackthorn won't know. But I will. Father will too. He appears in the doorway wearing his ceremonial robes, disappointment already carved across his face. Is she ready? He asks Mother as though I'm furniture. As ready as she can be. Father's jaw tightens. He has ruled the Lachlan pack for 30 years, surviving challenges through ruthlessness, strategy, and the complete absence of mercy. He has never forgiven me for being born incorrectly. His first child. His firstborn daughter. The child who should have been a son. Or at least a wolf. Anything except me. Listen carefully, Pamela. He still doesn't look directly at me. You will walk down the aisle. You will stand at the altar. When the priest asks the questions, you will nod. You will not speak. Yes, Father. Your voice sounds nothing like Celeste's. His gaze flicks toward the veil. When the marking comes, he stops. Something flashes over his face. Fear? No. Calculation. The veil should prevent complications. The marriage ritual is binding whether Blackthorn marks you immediately or your sister later. The treaty is what matters. Do you understand? Yes, Father. Pamela. Now he finally looks at me, and I understand exactly what I am to him. Not a daughter. A tool. If you destroy this alliance, if you cost me the Blackthorn Treaty, I will dissolve your place in this family. My stomach twists. We'll send you to one of the human settlements. You've always been more human than wolf anyway. The threat cuts straight through me. The human settlements. Places where wolves without packs slowly disappear from themselves. No shared bond, no purpose, no belonging, nothing except survival. I understand, I whisper. Good. Father turns away, then pauses at the doorway. Your sister is the valuable daughter, Pamela. Remember that. Whatever happens today, Celeste's happiness matters more than yours ever will. He leaves. Mother follows him, pressing a silk handkerchief to her eyes. Neither of them looks back. I remain alone, trapped inside my sister's wedding dress, preparing to live my sister's life for however long they need me. And I do what I've always done when the truth becomes unbearable. I tell myself a story. Once upon a time, there was a girl made from moonlight and wishes. She wasn't broken. She was simply different. And sometimes, in the right story, different could become something magical. A knock destroys the fantasy. It's time. The ceremony hall is breathtaking and terrifying. 300 wolves from more than a dozen packs fill the enormous space. Their combined energy presses against my skin until breathing feels difficult. Power, pack bonds, wolf, everything they possess and I don't. Father's beta, Thomas, escorts me down the aisle. I keep my head lowered and concentrate on not falling over Celeste's hem. The veil is thick. Faces blur behind it. Individual features disappear. But I feel him before I properly see him. Alpha Damien Blackthorn. His presence hits me like pressure before a storm. Massive, ancient, controlled. Damien is only 30, yet he commands the largest pack in the Northern Territories. Stories follow him everywhere, that he killed his own father in a challenge, that he has never lost a fight, that he chose Celeste because he needed a powerful Luna capable of producing equally powerful heirs. I am none of those things. Thomas brings me to the altar and releases my arm. I make the mistake of looking up. Damien Blackthorne is beautiful in the way a predator is beautiful. Dark hair, darker eyes, hard cheekbones, a sharp jaw, stillness that feels more dangerous than movement. He wears traditional black ceremonial clothing, embroidered in silver, matching the wolves stitched into Celeste's dress. He is looking at me. Studying me. His head tilts. His nostrils flare almost imperceptibly. My pulse explodes. Can he smell the difference? Does Celeste smell completely different? The priest begins. His words become meaningless beneath the pounding of my heart. I nod when I'm expected to. Offer my hand when instructed. Silver cords are wrapped around our wrists. For wolves, silver burns. For me, it's only cold. The priest turns toward me. Do you, Celeste Lachlan, accept this alpha as your mate, his pack as your own, and your bond as eternal? I nod. Silent, obedient. And do you, Damien Blackthorne, accept this wolf as your mate, your Luna, and your bond as eternal? I do. His voice is deep, rough, controlled. The priest raises his hands. Then by the power of the moon goddess and the oldest laws of our kind, I pronounce you mated. Alpha, you may mark your Luna. My breathing stops. This is where Celeste should be. His teeth should enter her skin. The plan is simple. The veil remains in place. He marks the woman he believes is Celeste. When my sister recovers, our families arrange some private ritual and somehow repair the deception. At least, that's what Father promised. Damien moves closer. His hand rises. Toward my veil. No, this wasn't part of the plan. The priest said the veil could remain, but Damien's fingers are already beneath its edge. Slowly, he lifts it. The fabric slides upward. My face is revealed. Our eyes meet. His widen. And something impossible happens. A collective gasp races through the hall. Damien's eyes turn gold. Not ordinary wolf amber. Pure gold. Ancient. Primal. Terrifying. You. The word leaves him like recognition instead of a question. I'm sorry. I break Father's command immediately. Panic crushes my throat. Celeste is sick. I never finish. Damien grabs my face with both hands and kisses me, as though he's drowning and I've become the first breath of air he's found. Shock freezes me. Then his canines descend. He bites. Pain explodes through my neck. The mark burns like lightning driven directly into my body. Every nerve catches fire. Someone screams. Maybe me. Maybe the crowd. The silver binding our wrists glows white. Then it shatters. All around us, 300 wolves drop to their knees. Every single one. Except me. Because Alpha Damien Blackthorne has just marked the wrong bride, and the woman standing beside him can't even shift. Chapter 2. The Beast's Bargain. Chaos erupts immediately. Father charges toward us. What have you done? He's shouting at Damien. But he's looking at me. The hatred in his eyes is so pure that for one terrible second, I forget how to breathe. You were supposed to. Silence. Damien doesn't shout. He doesn't need to. One word is enough. Father's mouth snaps closed. Power pours from Damien now, no longer hidden behind ceremonial control. It fills the hall until the air becomes heavy. This is what an alpha truly is. And Damien's hand remains against my neck, covering the mark that still burns beneath his palm. The ceremony is complete, the priest stammers. His face has gone white. The bond is sealed. I've never seen eyes turn gold like that. That only happens with true, I'm aware. Damien's voice is ice. His thumb moves over the mark. Fire races down my spine, and I barely stop myself from making a sound. My Luna needs rest. We are retiring. She's not your Luna. Mother's voice cuts through the silence. She's defective. She can't shift. She can't bear children. Damien turns. She's mine. The growl beneath that single word shakes the windows. Anyone who speaks against my mate answers to me. Is that understood? No one responds. 300 wolves barely breathe. Damien scans the room. When I look at his face, cold crawls through my blood. He doesn't look joyful. He doesn't look like a man who has discovered something miraculous. He looks furious, like a trap has closed around him. Like a plan has been destroyed. Like he understands that whatever happened between us has become a catastrophic mistake. Thomas steps forward, head bowed. Damien speaks without looking at him. Escort us to the bridal chamber. Empty the halls. I want everyone gone within 10 minutes. But the reception, now. The crowd disappears. Damien's hand slides from my neck to my elbow. His grip is firm but careful. He doesn't look at me while Thomas guides us through the corridors of the Blackthorn estate. This is Damien's territory, his home, and apparently mine now. I'm expected to live here, to serve here, to somehow become Luna to wolves who just watched their alpha mark the only woman in the territory who cannot transform. The chamber Thomas brings us to is enormous. Dark wood, heavy fabrics, a huge bed, a fireplace, bookshelves covering one wall, tall windows overlooking the forest. It should feel luxurious. Instead, it feels like the most beautiful cage I've ever seen. Thomas closes the door. We are alone. Damien releases me immediately and crosses to the window. His back is rigid. His shoulders are tight. I stand in Celeste's dress with the mark burning beneath my hair. The silence stretches until I can't endure it. I'm sorry. A bitter laugh leaves him. You're sorry. I didn't know this would happen. They said the veil would hide me. You were supposed to mark Celeste later, after she recovered. I was only meant to stand there until... Your family used you as a substitute. He still faces the window. A decoy bride. Efficient. They didn't have a choice. The treaty required a Lachlan daughter. Any Lachlan daughter. Now he turns. The look in his eyes forces me back one step. Tell me something, Pamela. That is your name, isn't it? My stomach drops. The broken one. I swallow. Yes. Did you know what would happen when I lifted that veil? No, I swear. Because I did. I stare at him. He walks toward me. I knew the moment you entered the aisle. Your scent was wrong. Lighter. Too human. I knew you weren't Celeste. Then why did you lift it? He stops. His jaw flexes. I thought. He cuts himself off. It doesn't matter. Then why did you mark me? The question escapes before caution can stop it. If you already knew I wasn't Celeste, why? His voice drops. Because you looked at me. He's close now. Close enough that I can see gold still flickering beneath the dark brown of his eyes. Close enough that his scent fills my head. Pine. Smoke. Something wild. You looked at me, he repeats, and you weren't afraid. I don't speak. Every wolf in that room fears me. Your sister fears me. I could smell it in every letter she sent, every meeting we had. She wants the title, the authority. She wants to be Luna badly enough to tolerate me. His hand rises. I flinch. But he only moves a loose strand of hair from my face. You looked at me like I was simply a man, not a monster to survive, not a throne to conquer. His expression tightens. And like a fool, I thought perhaps. He doesn't finish. He doesn't have to. I understand. For one impossible moment, Damien thought I might see him differently, that I might become something other than the political wife he had agreed to take. Then he learned what I am. I'm barren. He needs the truth without decoration. The healers confirmed it years ago. I can't give you children, I can't give you an heir, and I can't shift. I've never shifted once. I don't even know whether there's a wolf inside me. I'm broken. He finishes the sentence for me. Yes. I look down. I heard your mother. Everyone did. His hand falls away. And now we're trapped. The mark? Permanent. His expression is unreadable. The bond is sealed. Undoing it would kill one of us. The words hit harder than the bite. Then you'll have to kill. You? His laugh is sharp. No, that would make me look weak. An alpha who couldn't control himself and marked the wrong woman? My pack would fracture. Challengers would come from every direction. Then what? My voice breaks. What are we supposed to do? For several seconds, he only watches me. Then he says something completely unexpected. Tell me a story. I blink. What? You heard me. He walks to the chair beside the fireplace and sits. I watched you before the ceremony. Your lips were moving. You were telling yourself something. He gestures toward the chair opposite him. What story? It feels like a test. Like some invisible blade hangs above me, and the wrong answer will bring it down. But lying has never been one of my talents. I was telling myself I was a girl made from moonlight and wishes. His eyebrows lift slightly. That being different wasn't the same thing as being broken. That, in the right story, different could be magical. And do you believe it? No. The answer hurts. No. I think different usually means broken with a prettier name. Something changes in his expression. Not kindness, but something less hard. At least you're honest. He settles deeper into the chair. That's rare. Here's our situation, Pamela. We're publicly mated. The bond is genuine and permanent. Rejecting you would damage my authority. Keeping you destroys the future of my bloodline. My fingers curl into the skirt. I need heirs. Strong wolf heirs. You cannot provide them. I know. I've always known. That's why father could threaten me with exile so easily. That's why no wolf ever wanted me. Damien continues. There may be another solution. Hope rises before I can stop it. What solution? An heir is not legally required to come from my mate. Northern law says an alpha must produce an heir. It doesn't specify that his Luna must bear the child. My hope turns cold. You want another woman. A breeding partner. His tone is almost clinical. Temporary, discreet. She bears the child. You acknowledge that child is ours. The pack accepts the heir. A mistress. If you insist on calling it that. And what would I be? Safe. The word lands differently from everything else. You would have rank, protection, a home. No one could send you to a human settlement. You would have freedom, within reason. His eyes flick toward the shelves. And access to the library. I noticed you looking at it. I own more than 10,000 books. Books. Safety. A home. A place in the world. It is more than anyone has ever offered me. All I would need to do is smile beside him while another woman gives him everything I never can. And if I refuse? His expression hardens. Then, ancient mating law gives me rights over you that override ordinary pack law. Cold moves through me. I could lock you in this room. I could make your life unbearable until you agreed. He pauses. I won't. His gaze doesn't leave mine, but I could. You need to understand your position. His voice lowers. You're mine now, whether either of us intended it or not. There it is. The monster everyone whispers about. Controlled. Civilized. Dangerous anyway. I should be terrified into obedience. Instead, I hear myself say, what if I gave you something else? One eyebrow rises. What could you possibly have that I want? A riddle. Silence. He stares at me. A riddle. Yes. He says it as though testing whether the word itself is absurd. You answer correctly, and I accept your arrangement. The other woman. The heir. Playing Luna. Everything. Interest enters his face. And if I answer incorrectly? Then you give me 1 month. His eyes sharpen. 1 month where you actually try. No mistress, no arrangements, just us. You try to see whether this bond could become something real. I've lost my mind. There is no other explanation. I'm gambling my future on a riddle, because some foolish part of me refuses to accept that the man who marked me because I looked at him without fear wants nothing more. You're serious. He leans forward. You want to gamble your entire future on a riddle? I want to be more than decoration. My voice steadies. More than the broken wolf pretending to be Luna. If I'm trapped in this bond, I want to be trapped with someone who at least tried to see me as a real person. The fire crackles between us. Finally, Damien rises. He crosses the room. This time, when he reaches out and lifts my chin, I don't flinch. 1 riddle. His eyes hold mine. 1 chance. If I solve it, you become my obedient Luna, and I handle the air problem my way. Yes. If I fail, I give you a month of genuine effort. Yes. Even if that month changes nothing? I understand. Even if you still end up alone in a beautiful cage while I do whatever the pack requires? I understand. A faint, dangerous amusement touches his mouth. Then ask your riddle, little mate. I draw a breath. I'm already marked. Already trapped. Already ruined by everyone else's standards. What is 1 more risk? What is the thing that breaks when you name it, but becomes stronger when you keep it? It cannot be bought, stolen, or forced. It weighs nothing, yet it can carry the world. It is fragile, yet unbreakable. Damien's eyes narrow. He thinks. Really thinks. Silence, he says eventually. That's the obvious answer. Silence breaks when spoken and grows through keeping. Is that your answer? No. He rises and begins pacing. Too simple. Then he stops. Trust. My heart jumps. Trust can be destroyed the moment you demand it outright. It grows through what people quietly do over time. It can't be bought or forced. He's close. Very close. Once genuinely given, it can become almost impossible to break. Is that your answer? Again, he pauses, then turns fully toward me. Love. His voice is quiet. The answer is love. My pulse stops. Love breaks when it becomes an obligation, when someone demands it. But real love becomes stronger through keeping it, choosing it again and again. He steps closer. It can't be purchased. It can't be stolen. It can't be forced. His gaze pins me. It weighs nothing and still carries impossible burdens. It's fragile enough to destroy a person and strong enough to survive almost anything. I can't move. He's right. Completely right. The feared monster of the Northern Territories. The ruthless alpha who proposed using another woman to produce his child. He understood what I was truly asking. Could love exist inside something this damaged? You're right, I whisper. Something passes across his face. Not victory exactly. Something far more complicated. But the result is the same. He won. Which means I lost. Then it's settled. His voice becomes businesslike again. You'll act as Luna. I'll keep the breeding partner discreet. The pack will see a united pair. You'll have your books and freedom. I'll have an heir. He walks toward the door. Everyone gets what they need. Everyone, I repeat. This is our wedding night. But we're not married in any meaningful sense. Damien. His hand stops on the door. It feels strange to use his name. Why did you answer? He doesn't turn. You could have forced me to accept your plan. You already said you had the right. For several seconds, he says nothing. Then, because you asked me to see you as real, Pamela. His voice is low. And real things deserve choices. The door opens. Even when the choices are rigged. Then he's gone. I'm alone in my sister's wedding dress. Marked by a man who saw just enough of me to decide I wasn't worth choosing. I sit on the bed. And finally, I cry. The mark still burns. My chest hurts worse. I've gambled everything and lost. But beneath the grief, one stubborn thought refuses to disappear. He understood the riddle. He understood what I was truly asking. That has to mean something, doesn't it? I pull my arms around myself. 1 month. I give myself 1 month. 1 month to prove I'm more than barren, more than broken, more than the mistake everyone believes me to be. 1 month to make Damien forget about mistresses and clinical arrangements. 1 month to show him that this impossible bond might become the one thing neither of us knew we needed. The fire dies slowly. The mark throbs. And I begin planning. Because I've learned something from a lifetime of being unwanted. Broken things always have to fight harder to be kept. Chapter 3. The Nightly Ritual. I don't see Damien for 3 days. Servants deliver elaborate meals I barely touch. They prepare baths where I sit until the water turns cold. They bring clothes designed for a Luna, silks, soft wool, rich colors. Everything is beautiful. Everything suffocates me. On the 4th morning, an older woman walks into the room. She looks around 50. Silver threads her dark hair. Her eyes carry the weight of someone who has survived too much to bother pretending deference. She doesn't bow, doesn't lower her gaze. I'm Margaret. She puts a tray on the table. Bread, cheese, fruit. Actual food instead of ceremonial meals. I was Luna before Damien's mother. I stare at her. What? Before she died giving birth to Damien. Before his father lost himself to grief. Why are you telling me this? Because you need to understand the family you've just entered. Margaret settles into Damien's chair beside the fire. Blackthorn Pack has effectively been without a proper Luna for 30 years. After his mate died, Damien's father rejected everything the bond had meant. He ruled alone. Her mouth hardens. And cruelly. Damien killed him. Yes. Margaret meets my eyes. But not for power. He killed him as an act of mercy. His father was tearing the pack apart. I don't understand what that has to do with me. Don't you? She studies me. You're barren, you can't shift. By every traditional measure, you're the worst possible Luna for the strongest pack in the north. I look away. And Damien marked you anyway. The mark pulses. It does that whenever someone says his name. Warmth spreads beneath my skin like the bond itself is reaching for a man who doesn't want me. He made a mistake. I swallow. He's already found a way to correct it. Has he? Margaret walks toward the shelves and runs her fingers along the spines. Do you know Damien built this library himself? Built? Not merely paid for it. He designed much of it, collected books for 5 years from wolf territories, human settlements, traders, anywhere he could find them. She turns. Do you know why? I shake my head. His mother loved stories. She used to read and sing to him before he was born. After she died, his father burned every book in the estate. My chest tightens. He said stories were lies, that only strength mattered. So Damien waited until he was powerful enough. Then, after his father died, he rebuilt everything. This library became a monument to the mother he never knew, and to every soft part of himself his father tried to destroy. I look at the shelves differently. Not decoration, memory, defiance. He put you in this room, Margaret says. The only room with direct access to his library, a room no one else uses. This is the bridal chamber. No. I turn. What? The actual bridal chamber is 3 doors away, bigger bed, balcony, more gold than any sane person needs. A sad smile touches her mouth. This is Damien's private study. My heart stumbles. His sanctuary. He needed somewhere to put me. Perhaps. She moves toward the door. But he'll come tonight. How do you know? Because he's been spending 3 days trying to find the courage. Her expression becomes serious. When he comes, don't let him run. I don't know how. Yes, you do. She glances toward the books. You gave a dangerous alpha a riddle about love when you should have been negotiating for survival. You've already shown you can see beyond the monster. She opens the door. The question is whether you're brave enough to keep looking. Then she's gone, and I'm left with 10,000 books, and something even more dangerous. Hope. Damien arrives at midnight. I'm curled beside the fireplace pretending to read. The door opens almost silently. He steps inside wearing none of his formal alpha clothing. Dark trousers, a loose shirt. Bare feet. Without armor, he looks younger, less like a weapon, almost human. You're awake. So are you. Pack work. He remains near the door. Ready to escape. I wanted to make sure you had everything you need. I have food, books, and apparently a room that isn't actually the bridal chamber. His jaw tightens. Margaret. She told me it's your study. Margaret talks too much. Why did you put me here? Because. He stops, then tries again. Because you asked me to see you as real. My breathing stills. Real things deserve beauty. He glances around the room. This has always been the most beautiful place in the estate, at least to me. The admission hangs between us. Exposed. Dangerous. He gestures toward my book. What are you reading? Fairy tales. Wolf tales? Human ones. What's the difference? I touch the worn cover. Wolf stories are usually about order, alpha and omega, strength and weakness, the powerful, protecting those beneath them. And human stories? Transformation. I smile faintly. Beasts becoming princes. Curses broken by love. Broken people becoming whole. Which do you prefer? The question feels more important than it should. I used to prefer wolf stories. The rules were clear. I meet his eyes. But now I think humans understood something wolves sometimes don't. What? Being broken doesn't have to be the end. He watches me. Sometimes the beast is still a beast at the end of the story. Maybe that's fine. Because love isn't always about changing someone. My voice softens. Sometimes it's about accepting what they already are. Damien finally walks toward the second chair. He sits opposite me. 4 nights ago, we sat in exactly these positions negotiating the terms of my prison. Tonight there is no bargain. Only silence. Then, read to me. I blink. What? You wanted 1 month of genuine effort. There is something raw in his expression. I'm trying. I open the book. My hands tremble. I choose Beauty and the Beast. At first my voice sounds stiff, but gradually I forget to be afraid. Damien listens without moving. When I finish, silence settles between us. The beast lets her leave, he says. Yes. Even though losing her might kill him. Yes. He loves her enough to give her freedom. I nod. That's not how our world works. His eyes darken. Bonded wolves don't simply release each other. Separation can drive mates insane. It's only a story. Is it? He leans forward. Or is it a map? A way to imagine what love might become if we weren't all terrified of losing control. I have no answer. But something changes. Not the bond. The bond is always there, pulling beneath my ribs. This is quieter. Something chosen. At the door, Damien pauses. Tomorrow. Same time. You want another story? I want. He looks away. I want to understand why a woman who has never been properly loved would gamble everything on a riddle about love. He opens the door. Maybe your stories can explain it. Then he leaves. I sit there staring at the book. He's coming back. He wants to understand me. It isn't love. Not yet. Maybe never. But it is a beginning. And for someone who has spent her whole life being treated like nothing, a beginning feels almost like everything. It becomes our ritual. Every night at midnight, Damien comes. Every night, I read. Fairy tales, myths, poetry that makes his face do strange, complicated things. He never stays longer than an hour. He never touches me. He never mentions the breeding partner. We simply sit together, and slowly, so slowly I almost miss it, something grows. On the seventh night, he carries a book. Read this. The volume is small, its leather soft from age. It belonged to my mother. I take it carefully. The story is about a wolf who falls in love with the moon. Every night he howls for her. He knows she will never descend to him. He knows he can never climb high enough to reach her. But he howls anyway. Because some love is worth the impossibility. When I finish, tears sting my eyes. My mother used to say my father was her moon, Damien murmurs. Impossible to reach, but worth howling for. He stares into the flames. Then she died. His voice changes. And he couldn't bear the howling anymore, so he stopped listening to anything soft. Is that why you created the library? Partly. He rests his forearms on his knees. The world kept trying to turn me into him, hard, closed, convinced that tenderness was weakness. He looks at me. But you walked toward me in a dress that didn't fit, prepared to marry a monster, and you were telling yourself some ridiculous story about moonlight. I almost smile. It was ridiculous. It was soft. His voice becomes quieter. Beautiful. He takes a breath. I thought that if someone who had been broken as many times as you could still choose something soft, maybe I could choose it too. I don't know what to say to that. So I do what I always do. I tell him a story. Once upon a time, there was a beast who lived in a castle filled with books. Damien becomes still. He collected stories because he'd forgotten how to tell his own. Then one day, a girl arrived. I look directly at him. She couldn't shift. She couldn't have children. She couldn't become anything the world expected from her. His breathing changes. She should have feared the beast. I continue. But she noticed something nobody else did. The beast was broken too, trapped too, desperate for someone to see the man beneath the monster. And what happened? His voice is rough. I don't know. You don't? The story isn't finished. Then how does it end? I hold his gaze across the fire. How do you want it to end? Damien stands abruptly. For one terrible second, I think I've destroyed everything. Then he crosses the room. He kneels before my chair until we're eye to eye. His hand cups my face. The gentleness steals my breath. I want. His thumb moves over my cheek. I want to learn how to become the beast who deserves the girl. My chest hurts. But I don't know whether enough softness survived inside me. Then let me help you find it. The words barely make a sound. That's what this month should be for. Not proving I'm enough for you. I cover his hand with mine, finding out whether we could become enough for each other. Electricity rushes through the bond. You're dangerous, little mate. Why? You make me want impossible things. Like what? A real marriage. His jaw tightens. A partner instead of an alliance. He hesitates. Like? Love? I finish it for him. Yes. His voice is almost nothing. Love, the kind in your stories, the kind that accepts the beast without demanding he become a prince. Then stop calling it impossible. My fingers close around his. Start calling it ours. For a long moment, neither of us moves. Damien kneels. I remain in the chair. Our hands stay tangled. The fire throws our shadows together, until they look almost like one creature, instead of two damaged people trying to discover whether their broken edges can fit. Then Damien rises. The absence of his touch aches. Tomorrow night. He walks toward the door. Same time. What story? He looks back. For the first time, I almost see a smile. Surprise me. A pause. You're good at that. He leaves. I let myself feel hope, real hope. Dangerous hope. The mark on my neck pulses warmly, and for the first time since Damien bit me, it doesn't feel like a brand. It feels almost like a promise. Chapter 4. The Library of Secrets. On the 14th night, everything changes. I'm waiting beside the fireplace with an old book of wolf legends when Damien arrives. Early. And Margaret is with him. She carries a tray holding 2 glasses and a crystal decanter filled with amber liquid. She sets it down, gives me a meaningful look, and says nothing except, "Don't waste this." Then she leaves. Damien pours 2 glasses. Whiskey. He offers one to me. My mother's recipe, wildflowers and mountain honey. Our fingers brush as I take it. The bond hums. You've never brought alcohol before. I've never needed courage before. Instead of sitting, Damien goes to the shelves. His fingers move over the books. There's something you need to know. My stomach tightens. Once I show you, I can't take it back. You'll know something no one knows, not even my beta. Why tell me? Because you gave me a riddle about love, and then spent 2 weeks reading fairy tales as though you genuinely believe them. He takes down a large leather book with no title. And because you're either the bravest person I've ever known or the most foolish, I haven't decided which. He sits on the floor, back against his chair. The gesture is so casual that I lower myself beside him. Our shoulders nearly touch. He places the book between us. This is the truth about the curse. The pages are filled with journals. Different handwriting, different generations. What curse? The Blackthorn curse. He looks at me. The reason my father went mad. He turns a page. The reason I never took a mate before you. I catch fragments. 3 forms. Couldn't distinguish reality. Full moon. Madness. I don't understand. Damien drinks deeply. For 6 generations, every Blackthorn alpha has carried the same curse. He sets the glass down. When we find our true mate, not someone chosen for politics, but the person the moon goddess binds to us, we see that mate in 3 different forms. My skin goes cold. 3 versions of the same person. His mouth tightens, and we cannot tell which is real. He tells me about his father. Damien's mother appeared to him in 3 forms. One gentle, one cold and manipulative, one wild and dangerous. All identical in body, completely different in nature. His father spent years trying to identify the true woman beneath them. The obsession poisoned him. When she died, Damien says, some part of him was relieved. My stomach turns, because death reduced her to one version. That's horrible. Yes. He turns another page. A drawing fills it. 3 women. The same face. 3 expressions. This was how he drew her, again and again. My voice becomes small. Do you see me that way? Damien doesn't answer. He doesn't need to. Tell me. He traces the page with one finger. The first Pamela is exactly what the world says you are. My body stiffens. Broken. Barren. Almost human. Unable to shift. Unable to give me children. Everything my pack should reject in a Luna. Each word cuts. Fragile. Weak. A liability. I force myself not to look away. The second? Cunning. His gaze goes distant. She used the riddle to trap me. Uses stories to soften me. She studies every weakness, waiting until she can destroy what I've built. My heart beats harder. A spy, perhaps. Or simply a woman intelligent enough to recognize vulnerability and exploit it. And the third? Damien becomes silent. Please. Finally his eyes find mine. The third is perfect. I stop breathing. She's brave, honest. She sees life through stories because reality has been cruel to her. His voice drops. Her barrenness isn't a defect. It's freedom. No one can reduce her to political breeding. He looks almost haunted. She doesn't shift because she doesn't need a wolf to be strong. Her strength is quieter. His fingers tighten around the book. Unbreakable. My eyes burn. She's everything I've been howling for without knowing what I wanted. His expression fractures. And she frightens me more than the others. Why? Because if she's real and I drive her away, he swallows. I become my father. Mad. Alone. Destroyed by the loss. Which one do you believe? That's the curse. His voice cracks around my name. I don't know, Pamela. Every time we sit together, he sees all three. When I read to him, he doesn't know whether I love stories or whether I'm deliberately making him vulnerable. When I touch him, he doesn't know whether it's affection or strategy. When I look at him like he's a man instead of a monster, he can't tell whether it's genuine or simply the best lie anyone has ever told him. What are we supposed to do? I don't know. He closes the book. My father decided the dangerous version was real. He became suspicious of everything my mother did. His face goes cold. He treated her with cruelty until he destroyed her. But she died in childbirth. Her body did. His eyes lower. I've read her journals. Her heart died long before Damien Blackthorne was born. Understanding comes slowly. That's why you offered the arrangement. Partly. He looks at me. If I never fully believe any version of you, then no version can destroy me. Distance felt safer. His hand finds mine. But then you asked me for stories. Our fingers intertwine. And sometimes, while you're reading, all three versions overlap. For a second, I think I can see you. What if the curse itself is lying? He watches me. What if there has only ever been one Pamela, and the curse simply makes you question whatever is directly in front of you? That's what I'm trying to understand. His thumb moves across my palm. That's why I return every night, why I listen, why I'm showing you this. Then ask me. The force in my own voice surprises me. Don't guess. Don't sit alone wondering whether I'm manipulating you. Ask. Would you tell me? Yes. Would you? The question kills my certainty. He explains it himself. The manipulative Pamela would lie perfectly. The frightened Pamela might lie to survive. Only the perfect Pamela would always tell the truth. And that is the version he's most afraid to believe. We're trapped. He can't trust what he sees. I can't prove myself. The curse has built a wall between us. What happened to the other Blackthorne alphas? I suddenly ask. 6 generations. Someone must have beaten it. Damien's expression becomes darker. No one did. Some went mad. Some destroyed their mates. Some chose solitude because risking love seemed worse. The curse has never been broken. Then maybe we're trying to solve the wrong problem. He frowns. What? Maybe the curse doesn't need to be broken. I turn toward him. Maybe it needs to be accepted. That makes no sense. You see 3 versions of me. I force myself onward. What if all 3 are real? Pamela. I am barren. I am weak in many of the ways wolves value. That's real. He goes silent. And I am capable of manipulation. I give him a sad smile. I used a riddle to force you into a bet. His mouth almost moves. I could be dangerous if I chose to be. I breathe in. But I'm also the woman who still believes in fairy tales. The woman who wants this bond to become real. My voice trembles. The woman falling in love with a beast who brings me his mother's books and drinks her whiskey, and shows me the parts of himself he thinks will make me run. Damien stares at me. I continue. What if your father failed because he needed your mother to be only one thing? Good or evil, safe or dangerous, loving or manipulative. But people aren't one thing. We contradict ourselves. We can be weak and strong, afraid and brave, kind and dangerous, all at once. So I should accept that you might manipulate me? You should accept that I can. I take his hand. Then choose to trust me anyway. He becomes very still. Not because you know I'll never hurt you, because nobody can know that. The fire cracks. But because living in permanent suspicion is another kind of madness. A clock somewhere in the estate strikes midnight. You're asking me for faith. I'm asking you to do what the beast did. My heart pounds. Love me enough to risk being wrong. His eyes burn gold around the edges. And if you're the dangerous version, if this entire conversation is manipulation, I smile. Then at least you'll be destroyed by someone who loved you enough to make you believe in fairy tales first. For one stunned second, he simply looks at me. Then Damien Blackthorne laughs. Actually laughs. Short. Surprised. Almost painful. You're either the wisest woman I've met or the most dangerous. Maybe both. Maybe. I lean closer. Maybe it doesn't matter, because you're choosing me anyway. Is that confidence? His face comes nearer. Or manipulation. Does it matter? We are close enough that I can see gold moving beneath brown. The curse fighting something else. Hope. Want. The possibility that two broken people might save each other without changing what they are. Read to me. His voice is quiet. No more curses tonight. So I read. The story is about a wolf who loses his voice in battle. He can never howl again. He believes that makes him useless until he meets a deaf wolf who shows him that communication was never only sound. It's presence. Showing up. Staying. When I finish, Damien's head rests against my shoulder. I'm tired. His voice is barely audible. Of seeing three versions? Yes. Of trying to solve everything? Yes. Of being strong every moment of every day. A longer pause. Yes. Then don't be strong here. If I'm weak, I'm vulnerable. Yes. If I'm vulnerable, you can destroy me. Yes. I look down at him. I could. His body goes still. But I won't. Promise. I promise. The word echoes through me. Promise. Suddenly, I understand my own riddle differently. The thing that breaks when named. The thing strengthened through keeping. Not only love. A promise. Choosing someone when certainty is impossible. Trusting while fear still exists. Returning every night even when every instinct says closeness is dangerous. Damien lifts his head. I want to try something. What? It might make the curse worse. That does not sound reassuring. I need to know whether the bond can recognize truth, even when my eyes can't. My breath catches. All right. He turns toward me. One hand cups my cheek, then the other. He holds my face as though I'm precious. Tell me something true. About what? You. Not the story you tell yourself. Something you've never admitted to anyone. I close my eyes. I'm glad Celeste got sick. His fingers tighten slightly. I'm glad I was the one who walked down that aisle. The confession hurts. Even knowing everything that happened afterward, I'd rather be trapped here with you than free somewhere without you. My throat closes. And that makes me feel horrible, because Celeste wanted you first. She was supposed to have you. I open my eyes. But I can't make myself wish it had happened differently. My turn. Damien's voice is rough. I knew you weren't Celeste before I lifted your veil. I stare at him. Your scent was wrong. Your heartbeat was different. Everything about you told me another woman was standing there. Then why? Curiosity. He swallows. Recognition. Something inside me recognized something inside you before I understood what it was. His eyes hold mine. I marked you knowing you weren't Celeste. My heart races. Knowing what? Enough. His mouth twists. Knowing about your inability to shift, knowing you were considered barren. He draws closer. And I did it anyway, because you were the only real thing in a room full of performance. His face is inches away. Gold and brown battle inside his eyes. Which version am I now? I whisper. All three. A pause. None. He breathes. I don't think it matters. Then he kisses me. Not like the marking. That had been violence and instinct and possession. This is a question. A hand reaching into darkness and hoping another hand will answer. His lips move gently over mine. The bond explodes. Warmth rushes through every bone in my body. When we separate, both of us are trembling. That felt real. It was. All three versions were there. Then maybe we're all real. He rests his forehead against mine. I'm still afraid. So am I. That I'm choosing wrong. Then be afraid with me. I touch his face. Don't run yet. He closes his eyes. How many days remain in your month? 14. Not enough. No. Not enough time to unlearn an entire lifetime. Then we take longer. I almost laugh. A year. 10 years. Whatever we need. And the pack? The pack needs a Luna who exists, not decoration hidden inside a beautiful room. I hold his gaze. And they need an alpha who isn't afraid of every soft part of himself. Bloodlines matter. So do people. I move closer. Maybe we matter more than whatever everyone says we're supposed to become. Damien studies me. I wonder which Pamela he sees. Then he smiles. Really smiles. The change in him is astonishing. You're going to ruin me. Completely? Utterly. Is that bad? I don't know yet. His hand closes around mine. Ask me again in 14 days. Instead of leaving, Damien walks toward the bed. Stay. The word escapes me. He turns. I mean, heat rushes into my face. Not for anything, just sleep here. His expression softens. Let me prove being close to me doesn't automatically destroy you. Every lesson from his father should make him refuse. Instead, Damien starts removing his boots. Just sleeping. Just sleeping. We lie on opposite sides of the bed. A careful distance separates us. Darkness fills the room. Then his hand moves across the space between us. I meet it halfway. Tell me another story, he murmurs. So I tell him about a beast and a girl. About two broken people learning that being damaged wasn't the end. Only the middle. About a curse created not only by magic, but by the belief that someone could never be worthy of love exactly as they were. Before I reach the ending, Damien falls asleep. His fingers remain intertwined with mine. The bond hums between us. For the first time since the mark burned into my neck, peace feels possible. Maybe this disaster could become beautiful after all. Chapter 5. The Shifting Truth. I wake to sunlight. And an empty bed. Panic hits instantly. Was last night real? The whiskey? The curse? The kiss? Then I see the note. It lies on Damien's pillow. His handwriting is sharp and precise. Pack business. Back by nightfall. The library is yours. All of it. Not only this room. Margaret knows where everything is. Try not to burn the castle down while I'm gone. D. I smile. When I notice the smaller line beneath it. P.S. You talk in your sleep. You said my name 17 times. I counted. My entire face burns. I fold the note and hide it inside the fairy tale book like a pressed flower. Proof. Margaret arrives with breakfast. One look at me and she knows too much. He left whistling. What? I've worked here 33 years. She pours tea. I've never heard Damien Blackthorne whistle. It was one night. Margaret smiles. With true mates, it's never only one night. She sets down the pot. He told me to show you the rest of the library. The rest? All 12 rooms. I almost dropped my cup. 12? Did you think 10,000 books fit in one study? Her smile becomes wicked. Come. A hidden doorway is concealed behind one of the shelves. Of course there is a hidden doorway. Margaret opens it. Beyond lies a corridor lined from floor to ceiling with books. Rooms branch away from it. Wolf history, human philosophy, ancient languages, poetry, warfare, healing, cooking, art. He built it like a mind, Margaret tells me. Each room holds another part of himself. When Damien's father was alive, Damien used to disappear here for days. The library was his refuge from cruelty. Eventually, Margaret brings me to a room labeled Mothers. Inside are pregnancy guides, collections of lullabies, books of stories mothers tell children. At the center stands an old rocking chair polished smooth from use. His mother's. Margaret's voice changes. The only thing his father didn't burn. Why? Because we hid it. She touches the wood gently. Damien found it 20 years later. My throat closes. He sits here sometimes. When he thinks nobody knows. I imagine the most feared alpha in the north sitting alone in this chair, trying to remember the voice of a mother he never heard outside the womb. Why show me this? Because Damien won't. Margaret faces me. He'll show you danger, the curse, violence, everything impossible about loving him. Her gaze softens. He won't show you the lonely boy. I look around. You asked for a month of truth. This is the truth. She gestures toward the hidden library. All 12 rooms, not merely the beautiful ones. I spend the entire day exploring. In the history room, I find records of the Blackthorn curse. 6 generations. Alphas driven mad. Mates destroyed. Some alphas killed themselves. Others killed the women they loved. None found peace. Then, in the poetry room, I discover a journal. Damien's handwriting. Recent. I know I shouldn't read it. Then I see my name. Day 3 since the marking. She hasn't tried to escape. She doesn't beg. She doesn't bargain. She simply sits in my study and reads as though none of this is happening. I see 3 versions. Victim, spy, saint. I can't tell which one is real. I turn the page. Day 7. She asked for stories. Nobody has ever asked anything so simple from me, and nothing has ever felt more dangerous. I told her there would only be an arrangement, but she gave me that ridiculous riddle and I had to answer it. Had to prove I understood what she was really asking. I don't know whether that makes me the fool or her the genius. Another entry. Day 12. She fell asleep while reading tonight. I watched her for an hour. Heat floods my face. When she sleeps, I only see one woman. No performance, no strategy, just a girl who talks about moonlight as though it exists. I want to touch her face. I didn't. I couldn't risk it. Then, day 14. I told her about the curse. I kissed her, slept beside her like we're actually married. I'm doing everything my father warned me against. Getting close. Letting her see weakness. Choosing hope instead of safety. Tomorrow, she'll probably use all of it against me. Tonight, I don't care. I close the journal. My hands are shaking. He's been studying me every day. Trying to understand me. Exactly as I've been trying to understand him. We're both prisoners of the same question. What is real? And what happens if we choose wrong? Damien returns near sunset. I'm waiting with his journal. He sees it instantly. You read that. Not a question. Yes. I hold it tighter. And I think we need to stop solving each other. His expression changes. We're people, Damien, not riddles. He takes the journal from my hands and puts it aside. I counted something today. What? 73 pack members asked me about you. I stare. They asked when they'll meet their Luna, whether the rumors are true, whether you really can't shift, whether you're barren. His mouth hardens. Some asked whether I'm keeping you hidden because I'm ashamed. What did you say? That you're recovering from the marking. He steps closer. But we can't hide forever. Fear curls inside me. They'll see everything I can't do. Yes. They'll question your judgment. Probably. Then why do it? My mind flashes to his original arrangement. Why not let me remain hidden? Why risk everything? because we're past that. He takes my hand. I'm tired of pretending you aren't the most interesting thing that's happened to me in 30 years. My heart stumbles. I'm tired of letting a curse decide how I live. His expression becomes serious. I want to present you as my actual Luna. I stop breathing. Not decoration, not a political solution. His hand tightens around mine. The woman I'm choosing. You're choosing me? I'm trying. He almost smiles. I still see 3 versions. I'm still terrified I'm wrong. He pulls me closer. But I'm choosing to believe that perhaps all 3 are real. His voice drops. And perhaps I can love all of them. The word love enters the room like fire. But I need you to choose too. What? Not only me. He looks toward the hidden doorway. Pack life. Duties. Ceremonies. Wolves studying every movement you make. His gaze returns. Can you stand beside me knowing they'll judge you? I imagine it. Hundreds of wolves. Everyone capable of doing what I can't. Their eyes. Their whispers. Then I remember Damien whistling. His journal. 12 rooms built because a boy refused to let the world burn every soft thing inside him. Yes. His brows lift. Even though you're afraid. Especially because I'm afraid. I smile slightly. Someone told me being afraid with someone is braver than being safe alone. Damien smiles back. Sounds like a very wise person. She's improving. He kisses me. Deeper this time. The bond flares. When we separate, his breathing is uneven. The gathering is in 3 days. Gathering? Full moon. Every Blackthorn wolf will attend. His face becomes serious. They'll all shift. My stomach sinks. And I'll be the only human. Yes. They'll think I'm weak. Let them. Something fierce enters his face. You're truly going to stand beside me exactly as you are? No apologies. His gaze sharpens. Is that the brave Pamela or the manipulative one? I don't know anymore. A pause. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe not. The next 3 days blur together. Margaret brings a seamstress. This time, the dress is mine. Deep midnight blue. Silver moons instead of wolves. If you can't shift, Margaret tells me, then the moon becomes your symbol. The moon? The thing wolves howl for. She adjusts my collar. The thing they need and can never possess. Damien teaches me protocol. Ranks. Greetings. Commands. How to stand without shrinking when every instinct tells me to disappear. You're Luna, he reminds me. Everyone except me ranks beneath you. That feels absurd. Get used to it. I can't fight them. You don't need claws to have authority. He lifts my chin. Stop apologizing for existing. At night, our ritual continues. Stories. Whiskey. Conversations until sunrise. Damien tells me about challengers he's killed. About leadership. About nights he wanted to abandon everything. I tell him about Celeste's first shift. How I watched my younger sister become a wolf while I remained exactly the same. I tell him about the healer, the barren womb. Father's face closing when he heard. Then I tell Damien about the threat before the wedding. He said he'd exile you? Damien's voice turns dangerous. If I ruined the alliance. I shrug. It wasn't much of a threat, more a fact. I'm not very useful among wolves. You're not leaving. His grip tightens around my hand. You're mine now. I look at him. My mate. My Luna. My responsibility. His eyes flash. Your father has no authority over you anymore. Possessiveness should feel like another cage. Instead, for the first time in my life, it feels like someone standing between me and the people who have always considered me disposable. The night before the gathering, Damien comes at dinner instead of midnight. He's formally dressed. Come with me. He leads me through all 12 library rooms. Beyond them is another door. Silver locks cover it. the kind designed to burn wolves who touch them without permission. This was my father's room. Damien's voice becomes quiet. I have never brought anyone inside. Why now? Because if you're going to become my Luna completely, you need to see everything. He unlocks it. The room beyond is a nightmare. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of drawings cover the walls. The same woman. Damien's mother. 3 versions. Kind, cruel, wild. Again and again. Like his father tried to draw his way towards certainty. Then I see the writing. Dark ink scrawled over walls. Accusations. Theories. Paranoid fragments. She's poisoning me. Version 1 makes me weak. Version 2 wants my throne. Version 3 is the goddess testing me. If I choose wrong, everyone dies. The words spiral until they barely resemble language. He lived here during his final year. Damien's voice sounds hollow. He stopped eating, stopped sleeping. I can't look away. He drew her endlessly, trying to solve something that couldn't be solved. His hands clench. When I killed him, there was almost nothing left. Just a ghost haunted by 3 women who were all the same woman. He looks at the walls. This is what scares me. Damien, this is my inheritance, Pamela. He turns toward me. Every night I spend with you. Every moment I start believing in you. Fear is naked in his eyes. I wonder whether I'm walking closer to this room. I take his hand. Then don't walk alone. He stares at me. That's what destroyed him. I step closer. Not only the curse, the isolation. My fingers close around his. He locked himself away because alphas aren't supposed to admit fear. Damien's throat works. But you aren't alone. What if that isn't enough? Then go mad with me holding your hand. A startled sound leaves him. I'm serious. I squeeze his fingers. Go mad with midnight stories. Whiskey. A woman who apparently says your name 17 times while sleeping. His mouth twitches. But don't become him by locking yourself inside a room and believing certainty is possible. I look around. Maybe that's the real curse. What? Believing you have to choose only one version. Damien pulls me into his arms. Hard enough that breathing becomes difficult. You're unlike anyone I've ever met. Is that the flattering version talking? Both. His voice vibrates against my hair. Always both. Surrounded by the evidence of his father's madness, I make him a promise. Tomorrow I'll stand beside you. His arms tighten. As Luna, not perfectly, not like Celeste would. I look up at him. As me. Broken. Barren. Almost human. Exactly as I am. And if they see weakness, we prove them wrong. Damien kisses me. Here, in the room where his father's love turned into madness, it feels like we're rewriting the ending. When we leave, he locks the door. I'm never coming back inside. Good. He looks at the key. But I'm keeping this. Why? To remember that isolation was the real danger. He looks at me. And that you pulled me out before I knew I was drowning. That night, we don't read. We lie together in darkness. The bond hums. I'm still seeing 3 versions, Damien admits. I know. I'm still afraid. I know that too. Tomorrow I'm going to tell 300 wolves that you're mine, that I choose you, that they'll respect you or answer to me. Very alpha. It is. His fingers move over my shoulder. But it's also just me trying to choose you in whatever imperfect way I know how. I smile into the darkness. That's all I wanted. A cursed alpha who may go mad. A cursed alpha who builds libraries for his mother. I move closer and write secret journal entries. He groans and whistles. Margaret told you. Of course. He laughs quietly. You're either going to save me or destroy me, Pamela Blackthorne. The name stops me. Blackthorne? Do you want it? I think about Pamela Lachlan, disposable daughter. Broken firstborn, the substitute bride. Then Pamela Blackthorn, mate to a cursed alpha, keeper of stories, possibly Luna of the most powerful pack in the north. Yes. My voice is certain. I want it. Then it's yours. We fall asleep newly named, newly chosen, terrified of tomorrow, but terrified together. And somehow that changes everything. Chapter 6. The Gathering. The full moon rises over Blackthorn territory like a silver eye. I stand before a mirror while Margaret fastens my dress. Our room now. Mine and Damien's. The midnight blue fabric moves like water. Silver moons catch the light. I look important. I look like I belong. I look like a lie. Stop. Margaret catches my expression. You're Luna, start behaving like one. I can't shift. I know. When they run, I'll be standing there like the moon they're all howling toward. She grips my shoulders. Listen carefully. You are not less because you cannot become a wolf. What if they reject me? Then Damien handles it. That's reassuring. It's what alphas do. Her expression softens. But I don't think they'll reject you. Why? They're curious. She adjusts a silver clasp. They've seen their alpha become different since you arrived. Different? Happier. I look away. Don't underestimate what that means. After 30 years of this family, teaching everyone that softness leads to ruin. A knock interrupts us. Damien enters. And for 1 second, I forget to breathe. Black leather. Silver buckles. Ceremonial alpha clothing. Danger made elegant. But his eyes matter more. They're focused. Clearer than they've been in days. You look... He stops. Bad? Like the moon became flesh. Heat rises into my cheeks. Is that good? It's perfect. He takes my hands. Ready? No. Good. I stare. Good. Bravery would be meaningless without fear. A slight smile. That's my Luna. Margaret leaves. Damien pulls me close. His scent has become something my body recognizes immediately as home. I need to tell you something before we leave. My stomach drops. What? Someone may challenge me. For your title? No. His jaw hardens. For you. I stare. Ancient law allows a pack member to challenge an alpha's chosen Luna if they believe she's fundamentally unfit. My blood turns cold. If someone invokes it, I either agree and dissolve our bond. His fingers tighten around mine. Or I fight the challenger. How far? To the death, if necessary. Horror floods me. You'd kill someone because I can't shift? You're not broken. That wasn't my question. Yes. He says it with frightening calm. I would kill anyone who tried to take you from me. I need you to understand what tonight means. His expression becomes Alpha Damien again. Presenting you isn't merely ceremonial. His voice lowers. It's a declaration that nobody decides whom I choose. Maybe we should wait. No. The answer is immediate. No more hiding you. His eyes flash. No more pretending you're someone else. He lifts my chin. Tonight they meet Pamela Blackthorn exactly as she is. And if they hate me, they answer to me. The man who killed his father stands before me. The ruthless alpha. The feared predator. I should feel endangered. Instead, I feel safe. All right. I take his hand. Let's go. The gathering grounds lie deep in Blackthorn Forest. 300 wolves wait beneath the moon in human form, most wearing little because they're preparing to shift. They fall silent when Damien and I emerge. Their attention lands on me with physical weight, assessing, judging, finding every flaw. Damien's hand rests firmly against my lower back. At the clearing's center is a raised stone platform worn smooth by generations. He guides me onto it, then faces his pack. Blackthorn pack. His command rolls through the clearing. I present Pamela Blackthorn. He takes my hand. My mate. A pause. You're Luna. Silence. Then a voice. She can't shift. No. Damien doesn't flinch. She can't. She's barren. An older woman calls from the crowd. The Lachlan healers confirmed it. True. Murmurs spread. I hold myself upright. Then a young male steps forward. Why? Damien's gaze hardens. The male continues anyway. Why would you mark someone who can't hunt, can't fight, can't give us heirs? Careful, Thomas. So this is Thomas. The same young wolf who has apparently been muttering about me for days. You're questioning your alpha. I'm questioning your judgment. Several wolves react. Thomas doesn't retreat. We deserve a Luna capable of leading us. Our enemies will see a human beside you and think Blackthorn is weak. A few wolves nod. My heart pounds. This is the challenge. Before Damien responds, another voice cuts across the clearing. And what exactly do you believe a Luna is? Margaret steps forward. The crowd parts. Even former Lunas keep authority. A womb. Her voice sharpens. A fighter. Thomas turns toward her. We need heirs. You need to remember history. Margaret's words crack like a whip. Damien's father had a Luna who shifted beautifully. She gave him a strong son. Her eyes sweep over the pack. And he nearly destroyed every one of you. The crowd becomes uncomfortable. They remember. Why? Margaret asks. Because he believed strength meant bloodline, violence, certainty. She points toward me. Pamela can't give you heirs. She cannot hunt as a wolf. My stomach tightens. But I've watched her. Margaret's tone changes. She sees your alpha as a man instead of a weapon. A few wolves glance at Damien. She pulled him out of the isolation he's lived inside since taking this pack. Then Margaret smiles. She made him whistle. Laughter ripples through the clearing. Damien looks murderous. I bite my lip. When did any of you last hear your alpha whistle? More wolves smile. So yes, Margaret continues. Pamela is different. She isn't the Luna we expected. Her eyes become fierce. Maybe she's the Luna we need. Silence returns. Then Damien takes over. I killed my father because he taught me that softness was weakness. His hand finds mine. That love made leaders vulnerable. He looks directly at Thomas. Pamela has shown me another form of strength. The bond pulses. Choosing what is unexpected. He scans his pack, accepting what is different. His voice becomes quieter, perhaps even loving it. He steps forward. You want to challenge my decision, Thomas. Thomas goes pale. Then challenge it properly. Damien's eyes burn. You and me, shifted combat. The entire clearing stills. To the death. Winner decides whether Pamela stays. Thomas says nothing. He's strong, young, not suicidal. Damien's mouth curls. I thought not. He looks around. Anyone else? No one moves. Then Damien's voice becomes pure command. Kneel. One heartbeat passes. 2. Margaret kneels first. One by one, others follow. Some instantly, others reluctantly. 300 wolves lower themselves beneath the moon, acknowledging me. Almost all. Thomas remains standing. His jaw is locked. Thomas. Damien's voice becomes deadly. Kneel, or leave Blackthorn territory. A pause. 5 seconds. Thomas's fists close. For one terrifying moment, I think he will challenge. Then his knees bend. Slowly. Every inch of surrender seems to hurt. When he finally kneels, Damien speaks. The Luna accepts your acknowledgement. He turns to the others. Rise. Then the shifting begins. Bodies transform everywhere. Bones alter. Skin becomes fur. Human voices vanish into growls and breath. Within moments, 300 wolves surround me. Gray, brown, black, red, large, deadly, and I remain at the center in human form. Damien shifts last. His wolf is enormous, pure black, gold-eyed, nearly twice the size of those nearest him. Power radiates from him. He circles me once. I understand. This is another test. He's showing them I'm not afraid of what they are. I extend my hand. Slowly, my palm rests against his head. His fur is unexpectedly soft, warm, alive. The bond surges stronger through his wolf. Beautiful. I don't know whether he understands the word, but he leans into my hand, just for a moment, then he pulls away. His head rises. Damien howls. The sound travels through my bones. 300 wolves answer. Their voices fill the forest. They howl toward the moon, and I stand among them. Human, small, different. Yet somehow, for the first time in my life, exactly where I should be. Then they run. A river of fur and moonlight moves around me. Damien leads. Damien leads. Margaret's wolf runs at his side. They circle once, twice. Then, on the third pass, Damien breaks away. He runs directly at me. Instinct tells me to move. I refuse. He stops inches away. Gold eyes lock onto mine. I see a question. Trust me. I nod. Damien lowers himself. I stare. You cannot be serious. A bark sounds nearby. Margaret, laughing at me even as a wolf. I gather my dress and climb awkwardly onto Damien's back. The instant I'm secure, he rises. Then he runs. The world disappears. Trees become streaks of silver and green. The ground flies beneath us. The pack surrounds us. Howls mix with hundreds of paws striking earth. I should be terrified. Instead, I laugh. I throw my head back into the wind. For the first time, I understand freedom. Not becoming a wolf. Belonging beside them anyway. Damien runs faster. His joy crashes through the bond. He's showing off. Showing everyone that his mate can run with the pack even without shifting. That I can trust. Hold on. Belong. We race. Until the moon reaches its highest point. By the time we return, the pack feels different. United. And somehow I can sense it. Not only my bond with Damien. Something wider. The invisible threads connecting Alpha to pack. The wolves shift back. People begin laughing. Damien transforms last. Which means one moment I'm sitting on a giant black wolf. The next I'm sitting on a naked alpha. I jump off so fast the entire pack erupts in laughter. Damien grins. Actually grins. Forgot to warn you. You're horrible. He pulls me against him without showing the smallest concern about his nakedness or our audience. Did you feel it? His voice is for me alone. The pack bond? I nod. Somehow, impossibly, I did. I felt curiosity, acceptance, lingering doubt. But beneath all of it, belonging. You're truly Luna now, Damien whispers. They accepted you. Not everyone. I look toward Thomas. He stands away from the others, still angry. No. Damien follows my gaze. Not everyone. He pulls me closer. But enough. The celebration continues until dawn. Food. Whiskey. Drums made from hollow logs. Ancient songs. I sit beside Damien on the raised platform while the pack celebrates. Margaret appears with 2 cups. Moonflower whiskey. She hands them over. You did well. Only well. Better than well. Better than well. She smirks. You rode an alpha during your first sacred run. Heat floods my face. That's either extremely brave or extremely stupid. Can it be both? With you two? Margaret laughs. Absolutely. When she leaves, Damien's breath warms my ear. I saw one version tonight. I turn. What? Only one. He looks at me. You. My heart stops. Which one? He considers. Does it matter? I look at the pack celebrating below us. No. For this one moment, I allow myself to believe we've won. That the curse is weakening. That the pack has accepted me. That nothing can destroy what we're building. I should know better. Across the clearing, Thomas watches us. His expression is cold. Calculating. Then he turns and disappears into the trees. Dread curls inside me. Something is coming. Something that will test whether the wolves kneeling tonight truly accepted me, or only obeyed their alpha. But tonight Damien's arm is around me. Tonight the pack calls me Luna. Tomorrow can wait. Chapter 7. The Broken Bargain. 3 days later, shouting wakes me. Not training. Not the ordinary noise of pack life. This is urgent. Angry. Damien is already dressing. Stay here. I reach for my robe. What happened? I don't know. He listens toward the hallway. It sounds like the main hall. I'm coming. No. His face tightens. Pamela, please stay here until I understand what we're dealing with. I'm Luna. And if there's danger, I need to know you're safe so I can think clearly. He crosses back and kisses my forehead. Please. That word defeats me. I nod. Damien leaves. I remain obedient for exactly 5 minutes. Then I follow. At least 50 wolves have gathered in the main hall. At the center, Damien faces 3 strangers. 2 men. 1 silver-haired woman. Formal clothing. Power. Wolves, but not Blackthorn wolves. Thomas stands behind them looking satisfied. An unprecedented violation of protocol, one man says. You marked a woman without proper verification, without ensuring she satisfied the requirements of a Luna. Damien's voice becomes dangerously quiet. You're standing in my territory speaking about my mate. His eyes harden. Choose your words carefully. We are not here to challenge you personally, Alpha Blackthorn. The woman speaks smoothly. We represent the Northern Council. My stomach drops. The Council. The governing authority that settles disputes between packs and enforces ancient law. Even Alpha's answer to it. We receive disturbing reports regarding your mating. What reports? Damien already knows. He's looking at Thomas. That your mate cannot shift. The second man opens a scroll. That she's barren. That she was marked accidentally during a ceremony intended for another woman. He continues. We possess signed testimony from Alpha Lachlan. My father. He states Pamela was only standing in for Celeste, and that your marking was an unfortunate mistake. Damien's face becomes stone. The marking was not an accident. The councilwoman raises an eyebrow. I knew who I was marking. Perhaps. She looks toward me. But the law remains. Her tone becomes formal. A Luna must satisfy 3 basic responsibilities. She raises one finger. She must shift and run with her pack. Another. She must bear the Alpha's heirs. A third. And she must defend the pack in war. Her gaze lands on me. Can your mate fulfill any of these? Silence. Damien cannot lie. Everyone knows the answer. I thought not. She rolls the scroll closed. The council has voted. My blood turns cold. Your mating is invalid. Damien's power detonates through the room. Several wolves fall to their knees. You have 1 week, she continues despite the pressure, to dissolve the bond and take an acceptable Luna. Or what? Damien's growl vibrates through the walls. You remove me? We declare Blackthorn Pack in violation of Northern law. One councilman struggles for breath beneath Damien's power. Any pack could then challenge your territory without penalty. I understand. Wars from every border. Blackthorn torn apart defending itself. Not only Damien. Margaret. The young wolves. Everyone, the woman continues. There is another option. I already know. Dissolve your bond with Pamela Blackthorn. Her voice remains calm. Take a qualified mate. Several candidates are available. She pauses. Including Celeste Lachlan, whom you originally intended to marry. My chest tightens. Pamela may remain here under your protection as an honored first mate. Everyone preserves dignity. It's Damien's original arrangement. Exactly. Me as decoration. Another woman as Luna. Only now, instead of his proposal, it is law. I watch Damien. I see the calculation. 300 lives. 3 weeks with me. Books. Whiskey. Stories. Love. How much am I worth against an entire pack? How long? Damien asks. My heart breaks. He isn't rejecting them. He isn't threatening war. He's negotiating. 7 days. The woman turns. Will return for your answer. Her gaze hardens. Choose wisely, Alpha Blackthorn. Some sacrifices preserve more than they destroy. The council leaves. Thomas follows. Damien doesn't look at me. The pack slowly disperses, whispering. Damien. He flinches. Finally turns. The pain in his eyes almost makes me forgive him. Almost. Which version do you see now? His expression collapses. Pamela. The manipulative woman who trapped you? My voice becomes bitter. The broken one who's destroying your pack? I step closer. Or the perfect one you're about to sacrifice. Don't do this. Do what? Ask you to choose one woman over 300 lives? I laugh. It sounds terrible. I'm not asking you to do that. Then what are you asking? At least look like this is difficult. My voice rises. Instead of standing there calculating, like you're relieved the council finally gave you permission to do what you wanted on our wedding night. That's not fair. Fair? Something inside me breaks. My father just signed documents calling me defective. Pack members still nearby are listening. I don't care. He testified against his own daughter. My eyes burn. And you're standing there deciding whether I'm worth fighting for. I wipe tears away angrily. So no, Damien, none of this is fair. Let them talk. He steps toward me. I need time. For what? To find another answer. There isn't one. I pull the Luna ring from my finger. Silver. Tiny moons carved into it. The ring Damien gave me 3 days ago. I place it on the table. You have your week. His face changes. I'm making your decision easier. Pamela. I'm leaving. Panic appears in his eyes. You can't. Can't what? I stare at him. Leave the mate who's considering dissolving our bond? That's not what I'm doing. Stay here while you court my sister? Pamela. Smile graciously while Celeste becomes everything I wasn't. My voice breaks. No. I turn away. I will not spend 7 days waiting to learn whether I'm worth keeping. Where will you go? Does it matter? At the door I stop. For what it's worth, I understand. He looks devastated. You're Alpha first. Your pack comes before one person. It probably should. Tears blur the room. I just wish. What? I wish you'd seen one version of me long enough to believe in her. I open the door. Long enough to fight, even if we lost. Pamela, wait. But I don't. I walk away. Margaret catches me packing. Where are you going? Somewhere I don't have to watch him choose everyone else. He hasn't chosen anything. He asked for time. I throw clothes into a bag. Not war, not defiance, time. Because he's trying to save both. He'll take Celeste. My hands shake. She's exactly what the council wants. Pamela. She shifts. She can have children. I laugh bitterly. I'll become the sad little story he remembers at midnight. The broken girl he almost loved. You're being unfair. I turn on Margaret. Tell me the truth. She becomes still. If you were Damien and choosing me meant destroying 300 lives, what would you do? Margaret says nothing. Exactly. I close the bag. Tell him I release him. Pamela. There are ways to dissolve the bond if both people consent. It could hurt you badly. I'll survive. My smile feels empty. I always do. I hug Margaret. Thank you. For what? For making me believe I could become Luna. My throat tightens. It was a beautiful story while it lasted. I leave through a servant entrance. Hood low. No ceremony. No guards. Just Pamela Lachlan again. The substitute. The defective daughter. The mistake everyone keeps trying to correct. The forest swallows me. I walk. Hours. Then another day. Away from Blackthorn. Away from Damien. I eat berries. Drink from streams. Sleep beneath trees. On the third day, I reach a human settlement. It looks exactly like Father always made it sound. Packless wolves. Exiles. Actual humans. Everyone carrying the same defeated emptiness. Alive. Not living. This is where Father planned to send me. This is what I am without a pack. I rent a room above a tavern. It's small, cold, smells of old beer. Perfect. The human owner brings soup. You running from something? He asks. Or toward something? Neither. He studies me. Just running then. I don't answer. He nods anyway. Perhaps everyone here understands. That night, I dream of Damien. His hands. His voice. Fairy tales beside the fire. His wolf racing through moonlight beneath me. His words. I want to become the beast who deserves the girl. I wake crying. The mate bond is stretched tight across the distance. Almost painful. 4 days remain. 4 days before Damien chooses. I know what a good alpha will choose. The pack. He should choose the pack. The fact that I want him to choose differently only proves I never understood what being Luna meant. On the 5th day, Margaret finds me. I'm sitting downstairs with watered ale and a book I haven't actually read when she sits opposite me. You're annoyingly difficult to track. I wasn't trying to be found. I know. She studies my face. Damien has been tearing apart the territory searching for you. I force myself not to react. He barely eats, barely sleeps. Her voice softens. He howls at night. He's driving everyone insane. Has he decided? No. Then why are you here? He told the council he's taking the full week. To find a less painful way to reject me? Margaret sighs. You aren't making this easy. Why should I? I put down the book. Nothing else has been. I look directly at her. Tell him to choose his pack. Pamela. Tell him I understand. My voice cracks anyway. I'll sign whatever they need. I look away. And thank him for 3 weeks of pretending I was worth choosing. He wasn't pretending. We both were. I swallow. Pretending the curse could be overcome. Pretending love mattered more than responsibility. Margaret reaches across the table. What if there is another option? I freeze. What? A way to satisfy the council without dissolving your bond. Hope rises so painfully I hate her for causing it. What way? You need to return. No. Pamela. Tell me now. I hold her gaze. Or I stay here. Margaret studies me. Then sighs. Damien found something in his father's journals. My pulse quickens. A loophole in northern law. What loophole? He needs you there to invoke it. I don't trust him anymore. Then come back without trust. Her grip tightens around mine. Come back angry. Come back certain he'll fail you. I don't care. She leans closer. But the council returns in 2 days. Her eyes become serious. And if you're not standing beside him, Damien loses more than you. The pack. The title. His life's work. She pauses. Everything. It's manipulation. Transparent. Cruel. And effective. Because she knows exactly which part of me cannot walk away when someone needs help. Fine. I pull my hand free. I'll return. Margaret exhales. I'll do whatever he needs for the council. I look away. After that, I'm done. No more stories? No. Fairy tales? No. Impossible things? Especially those. We leave at dawn. With every step toward Blackthorn territory, the bond becomes stronger. Tighter. Pulling. Like it's trying to drag me home. Or like it never accepted that I'd left. Chapter 8. The Promise. The castle is preparing for war when we arrive. Wolves rush across the grounds with weapons. Defenses are being reinforced. The council isn't due until tomorrow. What happened? Margaret stops a young female from the gathering. Lachlan Pack, the girl pants. My stomach drops. Alpha Lachlan arrived with 50 warriors. Why? He's demanding to see Pamela. She looks at me. He says the bond is illegal and he's reclaiming his daughter. Father. Of course. Where's Damien? Courtyard. They've been arguing for 3 hours. The young wolf hesitates. When Alpha Damien couldn't show them where you were. What? Your father accused him of killing you. I stare. He wants to use your death to invoke blood law. Horror settles over me. If the council believes Damien killed or harmed his mate, Alpha Lachlan can legally challenge Blackthorn territory. My disappearance didn't merely hurt Damien. I handed father a weapon. Take me there. The courtyard is a standoff. Damien stands on the castle steps beside his beta and senior wolves. He looks awful. Gaunt. Exhausted. Barely held together. The bond pulses with his pain. For the first time, I understand what this week has done to him. He wasn't calculating calmly. He was drowning. Across the courtyard is father, 50 warriors, the 3 council representatives, and Celeste. She's dressed in formal Luna clothing. Perfect. Beautiful. Everything I am not. Simple proof of life, father is saying. Produce Pamela alive and unharmed. Damien's voice is raw. I told you she left voluntarily. Convenient. She's safe. Then produce her. She isn't property. Father laughs. She's your mate, your responsibility. His expression sharpens. If you can't manage one defective girl, why should anyone trust you with an entire pack? That's when I step forward. The crowd parts. Gasps spread. Father goes pale. Good. Let him see. I'm alive. His attempt to turn my disappearance into blood law dies here. But I don't look at him. I look at Damien. His eyes find mine. Relief. Fear. Hope. Joy. Desperation. All of it crosses his face at once. And beneath every version, love. Not perfect. Not safe. But real enough to keep looking even after I ran. Pamela. He breathes my name. I climb the steps. Stand beside him. Where a Luna belongs. I'm here. His hand captures mine. Too tight. I let him. The bond surges. I feel everything. His sleeplessness. His terror. His desperate hope that I've returned for more than politics. Where have you been? Father demands. We've been waiting for hours. I finally face him. I was thinking. About what? Whether something that began as a mistake could become worth choosing. The councilwoman studies me. And? Damien's hand twitches. Fear. I realize he thinks I may reject him here. Publicly. I decided mistakes only remain failures when people refuse to choose them afterward. Damien goes completely still. A bond can begin accidentally and become intentional. I turn to him. Being chosen despite every practical reason against it can mean more than being wanted for what you provide. My throat tightens. You asked for time. Damien's eyes burn. I'm sorry I didn't give it to you. Pamela. I'm sorry I ran instead of fighting beside you. His lips part. I'm sorry I assumed you'd choose between me and the pack instead of believing you were trying to save both. I squeeze his hand. I see 3 versions of you too. He stares. The monster everyone fears. A tiny reaction. The alpha who calculates everything. I move closer. and the man who builds libraries for a mother he never knew and listens to fairy tales after midnight. His eyes shine. I choose all three. The curse, the crown, the softness. Damien looks as though breathing hurts. You came back. I did. Why? I smile through tears. Because someone told me about a wolf who howled for the moon even though he could never reach her. The smallest smile appears. And? I'd rather spend my life howling for something impossible than settle for something less. Damien grabs me. Protocol disappears. Council disappears. Father disappears. He kisses me as though he truly has been drowning for days. The bond ignites. When we finally separate, Father looks purple with rage. This is ridiculous. His voice cuts through the courtyard. She's still barren. She still cannot shift. She's still completely unsuitable. Actually, Damien's voice has changed. Strong again. Steady. There's something everyone here needs to see. He removes an old scroll from inside his coat. Yellowed. Fragile. I found this while searching my father's journals. The council representatives move closer. This is the original Northern law establishing the lunar requirements. He unrolls it. Shift with the pack, produce heirs, defend the territory. All things Pamela cannot do, Father snaps. Damien ignores him. But there is a fourth clause. Silence. A clause omitted from later copies. The councilwoman narrows her eyes. Damien reads, should a Luna be unable to satisfy the three traditional requirements, she may prove her worth through the trial of the ancestors, a challenge chosen by the pack to test her character, leadership, and ability to serve. The courtyard erupts in whispers. The ancestors' trial? One councilman looks stunned. It hasn't been invoked in more than a century. It's still law. Damien's voice becomes hard. Valid law. He turns to me. And I'm invoking it. My pulse pounds. If Pamela agrees. What does the trial require? I don't know. He looks grim. The pack designs it according to what they most need from their Luna. Could it be dangerous? Yes. Could it kill me? His jaw tightens. Yes. And if I succeed, no council, no alpha, no law can question your right to remain Luna. And if I fail, his eyes darken. The bond dissolves automatically. My breath catches. I'm exiled from pack territory. Damien hates every word. And legally required to take another mate. Father smiles. Celeste stands beside him in perfect silence. The council watches. There is no safe path left. Only through. I accept. Damien's head snaps toward me. Pamela. I accept the trial. The councilwoman nods. Under ancient law, Blackthorn Pack will choose a challenge testing the candidate's ability to lead, protect, and serve. She turns toward the gathered wolves. You have 1 hour. The pack leaves to deliberate. Father remains. His smile is cruel. You're going to fail. Damien growls softly. Careful. Father doesn't stop. Whatever they choose will destroy you. Then Celeste will become Luna, as she should have from the beginning. He steps closer. And you'll finally become what you've always been. I know the word before he says it. Nothing. Damien moves between us. She's still my mate. She's still my daughter. Then treat her like one. Father laughs. Respect the broken thing that's cost me months of negotiations? He smells like whiskey. Pamela had one simple purpose. His eyes find mine. Stand in for her sister. Nod. Disappear. His mouth twists. But she couldn't even do that correctly. She had to trap an alpha into marking her by mistake. It wasn't a mistake. Damien's voice becomes deadly. Father turns. I saw her face. Damien steps closer. I knew she wasn't Celeste. My heart stops. And I marked her anyway, because something inside me recognized something inside her. He looks at me. That isn't a mistake. Father spits the next word. Fate. Yes. Fate is a story fools use to justify bad decisions. He gestures toward me. You were curious. That's all. His smile turns cruel. How long before curiosity becomes resentment? Each word digs into old wounds. How long until you remember she cannot give you children, cannot shift, cannot be a real Luna? Damien steps completely in front of me. Listen carefully. Power floods his voice. Pamela is more wolf than you will ever be. Father goes still. More loyal, more courageous, more worthy of respect. Damien's eyes burn. She rode my wolf through the sacred run without fear. His voice carries across the courtyard. She does not need to shift to be strong. Another step. She does not need to give birth to lead. Then he turns toward me. The gold in his eyes is gone. No fractured versions. Only Damien. I see you, Pamela. One person. His voice softens. Real. Whole. Exactly whom I choose. Tears blur him. Not because you're perfect. His hand cups my cheek. Because you're you. The world disappears around us. You gave me riddles about love and stories about beasts. His thumb wipes a tear away. You showed me that being cursed doesn't mean being broken. The curse was fear. I whisper. Yes. His forehead touches mine. Fear with a prettier name. He closes his eyes. I let it convince me enemies were everywhere, then opens them. But you were right. About what? All three versions existed. A sad smile. Because people are complicated. His hand remains against my face. I don't need perfect certainty to choose you. His voice becomes a promise. I only need to choose you again tomorrow. And the next day, every version, every contradiction, every fear, for the rest of my life. My breathing breaks. What if I fail the trial? Especially then. I stare at him. If you fail, we leave together. What? We find somewhere that doesn't care about bloodline or northern law. His eyes don't move from mine. We write another story. You'd surrender, Blackthorn? I'd surrender everything. The bond tells me the truth beneath the words. He loves his pack. Leaving would break part of him, but he would still do it. I'd rather become a lone wolf beside you than remain an alpha without you. It's everything I needed him to say. Then let's make sure I don't fail. The pack returns after an hour. Margaret leads them. Her face is grave. We chose. Damien's fingers close around mine. What trial? Margaret looks at me. Pamela Blackthorn must recover something Blackthorn pack lost 30 years ago. What? The Moonstone. Shock moves through several older wolves. Margaret continues. The Moonstone was given to the first Blackthorn Alpha by the Moon Goddess. She looks toward the forest. It passed from Alpha to Alpha until Damien's father lost it. When? During his madness. Damien's face hardens. He entered the Forbidden Grove. Margaret nods. And came back without the stone. The Forbidden Grove. The oldest part of Blackthorn Forest. A place wolves avoid. The trees kill wolves, Damien says. They have hated our kind since the ancient wars. Exactly. Margaret looks at me. But Pamela isn't truly a wolf. The meaning strikes me. I'm human enough. Yes. The grove may accept you where it rejects us. She draws a breath. If you retrieve the Moonstone, you prove you are not Luna despite your difference. Her gaze becomes fierce. You prove your difference makes you capable of something no wolf here can do. It's terrifying. And brilliant. A test built around what I am instead of everything I'm missing. How long? Until sunset tomorrow. 24 hours. Yes. Margaret's expression softens. The grove is dangerous even to humans. I turn toward Damien. I go alone. He hates the answer before speaking. Yes. The trial must be yours. His jaw works. I hate this. I know. I hate sending you somewhere I can't protect you. That's part of the point. I touch his face. I have to prove I can stand beside you, not behind you. Exactly. You've already proven it to me. I glance at Father, the council, the watching wolves. Now I prove it to everyone who still thinks broken means useless. You're not broken. Damien's voice is fierce. You're different. This time, the word doesn't hurt. I know. I kiss him. I'll bring back your moonstone. Promise? I smile. The riddle. The answer beneath every answer. I promise. At dawn, I stand before the forbidden grove. Warning markers surround it. Old bones lie near the boundary. Wolves who ignored the danger. The trees are enormous and twisted. Their branches resemble watching faces. I take a breath. I'm human. Nothing happens. Mostly. I feel ridiculous. I'm not here to steal. Still nothing. Only to retrieve what was lost. The branches move. Slowly. A path opens. I stare, then step forward. The grove is alive. Not metaphorically. Alive. Trees whisper in something close to language. The earth shifts under my steps. Vines reach toward me. Not trapping. Guiding. Time behaves strangely. I walk for hours. Perhaps longer. The sun never seems to move. Eventually I reach a clearing. At its center stands the largest tree I've ever seen. Its trunk is wider than a house. Among its roots glows a pale stone. Moonlight made solid. The moonstone. I step closer. Branches slam down before me. A presence enters my mind. Not words. Meaning. Why should I give it to you, human child? I freeze. Your kind cuts us, burns us, uses us. The tree's presence presses against me. Why help you? Because I'm asking. The branches remain still. I'm not here to take it by force. My voice trembles. I think Damien's father brought it here when he was drowning in madness. The air changes. And I think you kept it. A pause. Waiting for someone who could carry it without being destroyed. Can you? I don't know. The honest answer leaves me. But I'm willing to try. The branches shift. 3 questions. Answer truly, and the stone is yours. Lie. A root moves. Bones become visible beneath it. And you remain here with the others. My heart pounds. Ask. What are you? The answer comes too easily. Broken. The grove listens. Barren. Human. Everything wolves don't value. I breathe. Everything my family rejected. Then I stop. Number. That's not the whole answer. I'm also brave. Leaves rustle overhead. Loyal. My voice strengthens. Capable of loving a cursed alpha who sees me in 3 forms. I think of Damien. And capable of choosing all 3 versions of him too. I lift my chin. I'm everything at once. The grove becomes silent. The question is not which parts exist. It's which parts I allow to define me. The presence returns. Why do you want the stone? To prove I deserve to be Luna. The truth comes quickly. To prove different doesn't mean weak. I touch my chest. To keep my mate. Then another truth rises. But more than that. I look at the glowing stone. I want to prove it to myself. The tree waits. That what I am has strength. My voice softens. Not merely what I lack. Final question. The grove becomes utterly still. What is a promise? My breath catches. The riddle. The question that began everything. A promise. I choose every word carefully. Is something that breaks when you name it, but becomes stronger every time you keep it. The moonstone glows brighter. It can't be bought. A step forward. Can't be forced. Another. Can't be stolen. The branches begin to move. It weighs nothing but can carry the world. My eyes burn. It's fragile and still unbreakable. The tree waits. I understand it now more than I did in Damien's chamber. A promise is choosing someone again and again. My voice shakes, especially when walking away would be easier. Silence. Then the ancient tree seems to breathe. Branches rise. The moonstone lifts from the roots. It floats toward me. I hold out both hands. The stone settles into my palms. Warm. Alive. Power pulses through it. The presence fills my mind one final time. You are not broken, human child. My throat tightens. You are becoming. Take the stone. Show them. Not claws. Not fangs. Not shifting. The courage to exist without apology. The path opens. I clutch the moonstone against my chest and run. I emerge at sunset, exactly 24 hours after entering. The entire pack is waiting. So is Damien. The instant he sees me, his knees almost give out. I walk toward him, dirty, exhausted, alive, holding moonlight in my hands. I believe your pack misplaced this. His hands shake when he takes it. The instant his skin touches the moonstone, light explodes. The entire clearing turns white. The bond between us changes. Something locks into place. Not a forced bond. Not possession. Recognition. Choice. The trial is complete. Margaret's voice trembles. Pamela Blackthorne retrieved the moonstone lost 30 years ago. The council watches the glowing artifact. She accomplished what no wolf could. Margaret turns toward them. Her difference was her strength. The council members exchange looks. Then the silver-haired woman nods. The law is satisfied. My heartbeat stops. The bond stands. Damien stares at me. Pamela Blackthorne is recognized under Northern law as Luna of Blackthorne Pack. Father makes a disgusted sound. He leaves. Celeste follows. I barely notice. Damien has me in his arms. The moonstone is trapped between us. He's laughing, crying, kissing me. You came back. I promised. You came back. I know. His forehead presses against mine. You kept it. That is what promises are for. Epilogue. 3 months later. The library has a 13th room now. Mine. It is smaller than the others. Warm, comfortable, filled with journals, loose paper, and enough ink to permanently stain my fingers. Damien calls it my writing room. I call it proof that stories can change. This is where I record the history of Blackthorne Pack. Tonight, I'm writing ours. The disaster that became beautiful. The mistake that became intentional. The curse that became something almost like a blessing. Damien enters carrying 2 glasses. Still writing? Almost finished. He gives me one. Moonflower whiskey. Only the ending remains. He sits beside me. And how does it end? I smile. It doesn't. His eyebrow rises. It continues. I close the journal. The beast and the girl keep learning how to choose each other. I lean against him. They discover what love looks like when it's messy and cursed and unexpected. Damien kisses my hair. Sounds like a good story. The best ones are usually real. Outside the window, the pack gathers for the evening run. Margaret